You're listening to the International Moving Podcast, your guide to moving to another country, brought to you by SDC International Shipping, LA's finest. An international move is exciting. It's a time to start over, establish a new business maybe, reestablish family ties, or retire where your budget will do more for you. Please enjoy today's episode, and if you have any questions about your international move, give us a call at 888-779-3962. That's 888-779-3962. All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Jim for SDC International Shipping. Thanks for joining me for today's podcast episode. Today we'll talk a little bit about moving internationally, moving from Detroit, Michigan. For those of you who are not familiar with Detroit, Detroit is one of those cities here in the U.S. that SDC International Shipping serves a lot of clients from. A lot of people have been moving from Detroit. Yes, some people are moving into Detroit also. About 4 or 5 years ago, maybe a little longer, I was watching a documentary where they were talking about the revitalization of Detroit. But even so, I was looking into where Detroit is today for people who are at different points in their life. Some people are looking to build a future. Maybe they're in their early 20s, early 30s. They have time. Other people, maybe they want to start a business, or they want to grow in their career or progress in a career. And still other people are looking for a place to retire. And in a way, I think Detroit over the years has served all of those people. But I looked into it a little bit deeper because, as I was saying, that SDC International Shipping does serve quite a few people moving internationally from Detroit. Now, Detroit, if you're not aware, it's the largest city in Michigan. It has a very rich, very dynamic history. Quick history lesson. It was settled in 1701 by French colonists. I didn't know this until I looked into it. And of course, it did play a significant role in the industrialization of America, particularly as the automobile capital of the world. The city has been home to a diverse mix of people from various ethnic backgrounds, including African Americans, Hispanics, Arab Americans. And today, Detroit seems to be poised, as many other places are, to transform the city as technologies continue to develop, and new technology companies are looking for places where they can grow their companies without the significantly high overhead that's associated with some more of the popular places, like Silicon Valley is a good example of it. Now, the city of Detroit has faced challenges, significant challenges over the years, including a decline in population. That was something which was huge. And I remember watching the documentary about Detroit, and they were just showing these empty warehouses and buildings where car manufacturing once dominated, and now it was just like a ghost town. Everything was falling apart, dilapidated, rusted. There was so much crime there that I remember one of the police officers being interviewed was saying that they suggested if you're driving through the city in the middle of the night and you come to a red light and you stop there, if there's no cars, don't sit there and wait for the light to change, because a lot of people got robbed doing exactly that. There was nobody there. Now, of course, we're talking about 4 or 5 years ago. Maybe some of that has changed now. Maybe they have cameras everywhere, but just the whole effort to police Detroit seemed to be, at least 4 or 5 years ago, a losing battle. And so when you hear that kind of information, decline in population, and then it also faced the largest municipal bankruptcy in U.S. history, that was back in 2013. Now, maybe, depending on how old you are, 2013 seems like a long time ago. In the big picture, in the big scope of things, it really isn't. But now people are saying that the city, from multiple perspectives, is in the middle of a radical transformation with opportunities for people looking to build a future, whether that be family, business, career, or even retirement. And the city's rich history, the cultural diversity, and the potential for redevelopment make it an intriguing place if you're the kind of person or the kind of business owner who may be looking to invest in its future. So while the city has faced these economic challenges, right now it seems to be poised to present opportunities for growth, revitalization, especially in the sectors of technology, healthcare, and manufacturing. So we'll see what happens. I was looking up the current state in 2024. We're here now early in the new year. And according to the Detroit Economic Outlook for 2022 through 2028, released by the University of Michigan, it forecasts a sustained jobless rate below 6% with rising wages for the residents. So we'll see what happens with it. It will be interesting for sure. I was a boxing fan for much of my life. I haven't really kept up with the sport like I used to, but some of the great fighters of old came from Detroit, Michigan. Tommy Hearns, of course, you're aware if you're a football fan of the Detroit Lions and them making it further than ever to the playoffs. So it's amazing that Detroit is just one of those cities where a lot of famous people from the past are from, and who knows, maybe some in the future will be from there as well. But it's looking like it's on the uprise. Now, what if you're in the position where you're in Detroit, as many people have been doing, and you're looking to relocate internationally overseas? So maybe you're with a company that's starting up there and they want to transfer you over, or maybe you've been there for many years and you're just looking to get out. You know, it's funny, but the more that I look at just international moving and moving in general, it's clear to me that people are going to be more mobile than ever. A matter of fact, one of the towns that I thought I would be a part of for the rest of my life, Sarasota, Florida, it has become so populated here. Overpopulated, I think, is the word I'm looking for. And the cost of housing and everything, insurance, all of those things have skyrocketed. And recently, and this is something I didn't think I would be doing for quite some time, but even myself, I've been considering the possibility of relocating in the not too distant future, looking to see what's out there. Now, I'm not looking to move overseas. I'm looking probably to relocate somewhere else within the state of Florida. But it is interesting because I remember there was in the past such a difference from one state to the next in the United States. Each state seemed to have its own brands and restaurants and over the years, and styles and cultures. Over the years, everything has become more and more alike. So if you were traveling, let's say if you're looking at the United States map, from the top northeast to the bottom southeast, just along the East Coast, there was an incredible difference as you went from one state to the next, not just in maybe the culture and the personalities, but in the style of homes and in the shops and the restaurants that you saw. Many of them were only particular to that state. In other words, you wouldn't find a Walmart in every town. You wouldn't find some of these places that you're probably really familiar with, like some of the fast food pizza places that are out there that seem to be in every town. You know what I'm talking about. That was something that really didn't start happening until the 1980s. But anyway, it seems like the more time goes forward, the more we go forward in time here in the United States, the more the states seem to have more things in common, not less things in common. I hope that makes sense. So, but whether you're moving from Detroit or anywhere else, we understand that a lot is involved in making a move. And especially an international move is something that a lot of people find very stressful if they're thinking about it. And it's one of those things where you want to work with professionals, people that understand the challenges and the intricacies that are involved with moving your household goods to another country. You want to work with people that understand the entire process, not just one part of the process. And so working with a company like SDC International Shipping, you have to understand that the company and the people within the company have extensive experience, and they can create a personalized custom solution for you to make your relocation as seamless and as hassle-free as possible. And so one of the first things that will happen is there will be a discussion of exactly what it is that you need to move, the timelines, and whether your concerns have to do more with the packing part, the shipping part, or navigating customs regulations. Just know that by choosing SDC International Shipping, you're going to have a partner that's going to work with you throughout the entire process. So while it's good to do your own research and understand what goes into it, I'm one of those individuals myself where if I'm going to hire an expert or someone to partner with me on a project, even though I'm not the expert, and I don't know if other people feel this way, I assume maybe many do. I just want to make sure that what they're doing is logical. In other words, I don't want to spend money unnecessarily. I want to know exactly what it is that I'm paying for, why things are being done a certain way, and so that it makes sense, so I know that my investment is a good investment. And that's one of the things that you'll get when you work with SDC International Shipping, because you have the expertise on one side, but you also have the competitive pricing and the transparent quotes that will definitely put you at ease, because knowing exactly what you're paying for, why you're paying for it, and it being there line by line, then you realize that you're making a good choice, a cost-effective choice. So somebody said to me the other day, they said, if you were going for a surgery, would you rather pay for the third best surgeon in the world or the 150th best surgeon in the world or somewhere in between? And it was such a funny question that they put it that way to me. And I thought to myself, well, I want to pay for the best surgeon that I can afford. And they said, well, why is that? I said, well, because, anytime you go under the knife, I think I'm one of those people that looks at it like there's no such thing as a minor surgery. If somebody is cutting into you, you definitely want to make sure that they know what they're doing, that they have a good track record. And yeah, because you're talking about your life. Well, when we're talking about things that are valuable to you, your household goods, I mean, your whole life is being put into crates and boxes. And so it's extremely important that you get from point A to point B, from door to door, from where you are right now, everything being securely packed, loaded into crates, brought by the truck to the port where everything will be shipped out, or in some cases to an airport where items will be flown overseas, or possibly both. Sometimes people do both. You want to know that you're working with the best type of service that you can afford. And so SDC has an extensive network and partners, not just here in the United States, but also globally, people that we work with each and every week. So that's one of the reasons why SDC considers themselves to be a great partner for international moving. Today, we're talking a little bit about moving from Detroit. We already have an extensive network of partners there in Detroit, ready to work with you, ready to help you. And so this means no matter where you're moving to, SDC International Shipping has reliable connections in place to ensure a smooth and efficient relocation process. Having a global network allows for seamless coordination, number one. It allows for the timely delivery of your household goods, number two. And maybe most importantly, it gives you the peace of mind throughout the entire move because there aren't question marks there. Now, some companies, I've said this before, I'll say it again, they present themselves as international moving companies, but they're really not. What they are, they're more or less a broker. They take your business and then they hire or subcontract out the work to other companies. So you may have several companies involved in a single moving process. And if they're lowballing the prices and they're just trying to get the work and get the volume of work, then a lot of times these companies, these individuals aren't really taking the kind of care of your valuables, of your household items that you would want them to. And so that's one of the things where if you're looking to save money, make sure that you're doing it intelligently. There's no need to buy services that you don't need. Now, some people, maybe if you're a little bit older, you want total white glove service, meaning that You want everything packed, everything. You don't want to touch a thing. From your home, you want everything unpacked in your new home and put away. That's available for you. Maybe you have a very expensive piano that needs to be moved. And we specialize in that kind of moving also. Recently, we moved, I believe it was between 5 to 8 high end Bosendorfer pianos from Austria here to the United States. Now, moving a Bosendorfer piano overseas is the kind of task that really demands meticulous planning and a complete understanding of the delicacy involved in transporting that kind of precious instrument. So, the journey of relocating a piano of that caliber requires more than just the physical effort part of it. It demands the expertise, the precision, the packing to ensure that every note resonates as beautifully in its new international home as it did before the move. And so a lot goes into that. So when you choose an international moving company like SDC International Shipping, then you can be assured that you're working with a partner who has complete understanding of moving every type of object that you can imagine, from large, oversized to very delicate, very easily to break items, which have to be packed correctly in order to make the journey successfully from point A to point B. So I'm just putting it out there because maybe you don't have that type of instrument that you want to move, or you don't have antiques or a precious, expensive china. Maybe you do. Or maybe you have just things that maybe they're not of that value monetarily, but they mean a lot to you as an individual and they're just as valuable. And so, wherever you fall on the scale, just know that if you're working with a company like SDC International Shipping, then you're working with the kind of people that understand exactly where you're coming from, and you can have that additional peace of mind knowing that our movers, our network, have all been trained to handle these specific kinds of moves. So whether it's moving household goods, moving museum items, moving high-end musical instruments and pianos, we can get the job done and get it done right for you. So the process of international moving starts with the planning. It starts by creating a customized plan that's tailored to your unique requirements, because your requirements, my requirements, the people that live across the street, their requirements, it's all going to be different because we're all moving different things. So what will happen is after you contact SDC International Shipping, getting started is very easy. Today we're talking about people who are moving from Detroit because this is one of the areas that we serve. So I'm mentioning Detroit specifically. But whether you're in Detroit or LA or New York or somewhere else, the process is basically the same. So you can start simply, if you'd like to, go to the website, sdcinternationalshipping.com. You can fill out the form there and get a free estimate. Or you can call. We have a toll-free number there. You know, it's funny. I don't think anybody pays for toll numbers anymore, do they? I've been used to saying toll-free for so long with calling toll-free numbers. I guess if you call from your cell phone, maybe to China or Asia, maybe you pay, I guess you pay extra for that. But I'm just used to the one flat fee, no matter whether we're calling here where we live or another state. So anyway, just throwing that out there. So the initial consultation, if you have some questions, you can just jump right into it and fill out the form, or you can call, or we have a contact form there if you want to speak to someone. So some people would rather just fill out and write an email and email back and forth a few times. Other people, like myself, I think I like a combination of both. I like to see things in writing that I can go back to and refer to, the details that I talked about. But also, it's great just to have somebody there that you can chat with or pick up a phone and call them. And so we have all the above available for you. All that information is available at SDC International Shipping. So once you go through the initial consultation and an assessment is made to understand your needs, and advice will be given, and from there you can choose what's important to you, what you want and what you don't want, what you need and what you don't need. So the packing and the preparation process will be carried out with the utmost care. Maybe there are certain things that you want to pack yourself, or maybe you want everything done for you. It's the same thing with insurance. Maybe you want to insure everything, or maybe you just want extra insurance on a few items and the basic insurance on everything else. When it comes to the documentation, if you're leaving Detroit and going to, let's say, the UK or Germany or France or Portugal or Spain, you'll be working with a person who is an expert in the laws of that destination country. And so they'll know what all the necessary documentation needs to be presented, what the customs procedures are. And so they're there to make sure that a smooth transition is facilitated across borders. So transportation is organized efficiently. And then upon arrival at the destination, our team there will ensure a timely delivery and unpacking. So this is the professional approach. SDC has been using this approach now for 14 years. So it starts with that initial consultation, that initial assessment. That's where, let's say, if you're leaving Detroit, for example, your journey will begin. And what's nice is you can expect a thorough evaluation of your needs and requirements. The team will not rush you through. They'll take the time to understand your unique situation. And that includes things like the size of your household, any special items that need extra care, any specific timelines or restrictions. And then from there, we'll provide personalized recommendations. The solution is tailored to fit your specific needs. And that initial consultation, I think, is crucial because that lays the foundation for a stress-free, efficient moving type of experience. Like I said, when it comes to the packing and preparation, we have the materials, we have the people with experience. We can handle everything in the entire process, including disassembling furniture and packing your furniture with care and then reassembling it. Again, this is what we're talking about, door-to-door service. So you get the delivery and the unpacking at the destination. After you make your journey, and these are long journeys, the final step in a door-to-door service is the delivery and unpacking at your destination. So with meticulous care and attention to detail, the team there ensures that your belongings are going to be safely unloaded and placed in the designated areas of your new home. Maybe from there, because everything is clearly labeled, you want to take your time and over the next several days, you'll do the unpacking. Or maybe you just want certain things unpacked and reassembled for you. Or maybe you want everything done. Maybe you even want the dishes put into the cabinets and you want all of that taken care of, or something in between. So that's something that you can decide, and that will be part of the custom plan that's created specifically for you. And then finally, the most important thing that people kind of never think about is the follow-up after that. So SDC is committed to follow up. Once the delivery is made, SDC will not just suddenly be out of sight, out of mind. We provide exceptional follow-up and customer support because we want to ensure that you're satisfied after your move is complete. The team is always going to be available to address any questions or concerns you may have regarding your entire experience. And we pride ourselves on this personalized approach because we want you to leave a good review for us, and that's how we grow our business. One thing that is great about SDC International Shipping, I have to add this, is that the company is big enough to be able to handle any kind of move, and yet the company is small enough where you can actually talk directly with the owner if you have a concern. You're not going to find that with many companies, not just in international moving today, but in anywhere. A lot of times the people that are in the upper parts of management, they isolate themselves and they put people between them and the public. And that's just not the case with SDC International Shipping. People are going to be available for you because that's how we compete against the giant companies, these giant, faceless corporations, is by providing outstanding and excellent experience. And we do our best to do that for each and every one of our clients and customers. So in conclusion, let me just say this. If you're ready to move from Detroit and you're ready to move and relocate overseas, this doesn't have to be a stressful experience. With SDC International as your partner, you can expect an exceptional, personalized experience solution, and you can experience that dedication to customer satisfaction firsthand, from the packing and unpacking to maybe some storage options that you need. Maybe pet transportation is another issue that you need to take care of, or vehicle shipping. SDC International offers a comprehensive range of services to make sure that all of your needs are met, from here to there and everything in between. All right, I think that covers it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast episode. As always, please go ahead and share it with a friend if you enjoy this podcast. Your sharing of this podcast makes it possible for us to reach people that would otherwise be pretty difficult to reach. There's a lot of information out there today. There's a lot of content that's created each and every day. So if you enjoy this content, please go ahead, share a link with a friend. All right, that's it for today. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next episode.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thanks for listening. Whether you're relocating within the country or moving to the other side of the world, we're here to help from start to finish. Connect with us today at 888-779-3962. That's 888-779-3962.